My name is Tom Boley. This is Hayward, Wisconsin. Hayward was once a famed fishing hotspot. Together, we are going to put Hayward back on the map as a serious fishing destination. This film is brought to you by Treelands Resort and Raymer Small Engine and Power Sports. It looks cold out. It is cold out, but that's all right. We have fish to catch. What are we doing today? Let's go. We are targeting, here's my door, probably the most underutilized fish in the Hayward area, big smallmouth bass. It is cold, it is late afternoon. It is the day before November. We're gonna target some big smallmouth bass today on one of my favorite deep clear lakes, Round Lake. And we're gonna see if we can't put a few in the boat. We only have about 2 hours to fish today. Stay tuned, let's see what happens. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna get cold. All right, time to pay attention, because this is probably the most important part of the entire shoot. As I'm putting around these spots, I obviously know the lake I'm on extremely well. I've fished here for a long time. This is not a new bite to me, but for a lot of you guys who've never heard about fishing big smallies late in the fall or big smallies anywhere in Hayward, a lot of what I associate fall locations to are deep crib areas. Sure, rock's good. We're gonna do a circle, I guess. Let me turn that off. Rock's good, but 90% what I fish this time of year is cribs. How do you find cribs? Side imaging is huge. So this is absolutely the most important part of this entire thing. So let's go ahead and look at the hummingbird. So what I see here as I'm coming into a stretch of water that I know has cribs, cribs are gonna look different depending on kind of how they're made. This first one we're gonna come up on here is a bunch of wood, old timbers that were either tied together at some point and fell apart. But you can see how it's a real loosely tied. You can see the individual logs and how it's kind of, it just looks like a mess. It's not a neat crib, which is fine. Fish like all sorts of cribs. Now, although one crib can hold a bunch of fish, what I really like to see is big clusters of cribs, multiple cribs in the same, within 10 feet of each other. Like you can see here coming up on, I believe, my left. So like you can see here, if I zoom in, you'll see a whole bunch of cribs all clustered together. Now this is definitely a spot that has my interest. Now the only real way to know if there's fish down there is obviously to either drop a camera or just start fishing it. If there's fish there, you're gonna know. A lot of times you might have like 6-7 cribs all kind of in a flat, and it's not uncommon for 1 or 2 of those cribs to hold all the fish on that entire spot. So make sure you fish through a spot. You don't have to spend 15-20 minutes on a crib, but spending 5 minutes on each crib figuring out where the active ones are is kind of the way you fish this time of year. Fish on. First one of the day here, he actually swam way up with it. So we're gonna go and scoop him up quick. Here, buddy. Here we go, we are on the board. He's not the biggest one we're gonna get, but he's a start. He's about a 17 incher, I'd say. We're gonna go ahead and let him go. All right, what are we using today for bait? Well, there's a lot of different ways to fish for smallies in the fall. The most effective way, bar none, is live suckers. Now I'm rigging this guy right onto a Lindy rig. When I'm hooking him, I'm going through both lips. I'm using a longer true turn hook for a couple of reasons. Number one, they have a less of a tendency to swallow it. Not that you get many that actually do swallow it, but it definitely helps. I'm running about a 4-foot lead all the way down to a 3/8 or 1/2 ounce just below it. You can use a walking sink or whatever. I'm not fishing a lot of rocks, so I'm not too worried about getting my weight snagged. My main line is 10-pound braid, pretty much what I use for all my bass and walleye application. This is a 6'8" St. Croix medium extra fast. Is one of my favorite big smallmouth and walleye rods. I caught everything from crappies to 12-pound walleyes on this rod. Awesome setup. Just running that down to a spinning reel, and that's as simple as it gets. Basically all I'm doing is just keeping that weight, touching bottom, picking it up, touching bottom, picking them up. And when I'm gonna bite, give him just a second, drop my rod, and just pull right into him. There he is. Judging by how much this one's running, I don't think he's real big. Go ahead and do the old boat flip on him, I think. There he is. Not a bad little guy. We're gonna send him back. There he is. Just had that pickup. That one just took off shooting with it. Feels like a little better fish. Oh yeah, this one's the correct variety. We're gonna go ahead and slide him on in. Yeah. You'd think even though these water temps are just brutally cold out here, I mean 44 degrees, these fish will be all lethargic, but honestly this is the best time of year to catch a lot of these great looking fall smallies. We're gonna go ahead and let him go. Hooked up. It's actually doing a little bit more drifting on that pass. Oh, he is the other kind of fish we're targeting. These guys are hanging around the cribs this time of year too. Flip him in. He's the bonus. What is he? Nice walleye there. This is not a walleye show, but these guys are always hanging around the cribs, and they love big sucker minnows this time of year. We're gonna go ahead and slide him back. It is time for a move. We need one more. Well, this is one more. We need one more nice bass to wrap this up. It is cold out. The high for today is like 32, and I don't even know if it got there. Everything in the boat's frozen. So we're gonna make a move down to the other set of real deep cribs on a real steep break. See if we can't grab one more. Oh yeah, that's a bite. There he is. Fish on. Can't tell how big he is yet. Oh yeah, nice smallie. Definitely the kind we are here for. My spot locker mode actually died and I forgot my charger for it. Let me go ahead and scoop this guy up. My net is frozen. Buddy. Oh, we got him. That was perfectly on cue. Got to the last spot I was gonna fish today, and we got the fish we wanted. Awesome, awesome fish to end the day on today. It is cold out. It is rough fishing conditions right now. I hear less about catching big bass in Hayward than any other species, and it is just, there's a handful of lakes where you can go and do this on all fall long. We're gonna get him back in the water. We are back on the trailer. I am freezing cold. I'm gonna call that a wrap for today. I had a great time catching these fish. It's something I don't do that often, but really enjoy catching big bass and a mix of walleyes late in the fall like this. Extremely, targetable bite for another month of the season. And if you're watching this now, this bite kind of starts late September, mid-October-ish most years. Great bite. Absolutely check it out in the Hayward area. Thanks for watching. Also, if you guys have not already, make sure to subscribe to this channel, watch any number of these 3 videos, and absolutely stay tuned for more.